resume. So have you got some tips for how to turn your CV into an effective resume? Perhaps Lee, is that you could say a bit about what sort of things you'd be looking for on an application.
Yeah, and I think again related to what I started with in terms of the job ad, I always advise make those two lists. Which technical skills are the company looking for, which personal skills, and make sure you're clearly matching them in your CV. So you shouldn't have a standard CV. It's all right to have a skeleton, but each CV, it should be obvious for me as a recruiter that you've geared that CV specifically to that job ad and to the company. There should be relevant examples in the CV. It should be easy on the eye. It should be, as Pablo said before, we often have a few minutes to scan through. So basically, I've almost got that skills list in my head, and I'm matching it to the CV. Can I clearly see you have the skills that we're looking for in your CV? And again, backing things up with examples, not just stating, I'm a good team player. Anyone can put that. If you back it up with a solid example, it suddenly it gives meaning. So really make your CV relevant to the job ad, backing it up with examples and relevant to the company as well.
Right, nice. Thank you for that. Katie, is this something that you advise people on?
Yes, I mean, I couldn't really say it any better than Lee. I guess the only thing I would add is probably to try to seek examples if you can. If you can try to get hold of CVs of people already doing the kinds of jobs or working in the kind of sector that you're interested in moving into, then that will give you a good idea of their expectations. And there are a lot of CV examples also on the Vitae website of different types of formats. So if you're used to a multi-page academic CV, then you might want to look into things like competency-based CVs, which is a bit different to the sort of traditional chronological format that most people would be more used to.
Yeah, and where can people go to get those examples?
There are quite a lot of examples, templates and real examples on the Vitae website. So we'll tweet them and then people can follow that and have a look.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for that. Any more tips on CVs?
I mean, I guess I would say one thing is that the differentiator between a CV and a cover letter. I would say the CV, in your mentality, have the CV as the past, the cover letter as your future, and what you can do for that company in the future with solid examples. But a very small tip I'd say is get somebody else to check your CV before you send it. So the small details are correct. It's something I do myself when I'm applying for jobs. So I definitely get somebody else to have a good check through to make sure you're getting the message across that you want to get across.
Yeah, that's nice. It's we can easily become just blinded to our own little typos or poor grammar. And well, I think it's interesting. There is a question just on the chat, really, just people asking about how to represent the PhD on the CV. But I think we've really answered that from what Katie said. Is that because I have heard this thing before about should I even leave my PhD off the CV? But as Katie said, you can represent your CV well, your PhD well on a CV. If you put that time spent under your work experience, and you can call yourself a research project manager. So really make sure that you do frame that correctly. And not just as education, but it is actually your work experience.